Hi good people, thank you very much for joining our channel. On the 1st of June during Kenya's Madaraka, meaning Independence Day celebrations, the Central Bank of Kenya announced the replacement of the current banknotes with new generation banknotes. Today's video is about Kenya's new currency banknotes. Thank you. This announcement was coupled with another where Kenyans must exchange all 1,000 shilling notes with the new generation banknotes by the 1st of October 2019 when the old notes would become obsolete. The second part of the announcement was akin to a similar decision made by the Indian government in 2016 when they demonetized 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. The announcement by the Kenyan government had the same objective to the one done by India, which was to curb corruption, money laundering, and counterfeiting of currency. Take a trip back 9 years, back to 2010, when Kenya's constitution was amended through a referendum. One of the fundamental changes was in Article 231, where Kenya's notes and coins were meant to have images and symbols depicting Kenya and not portraits of individuals. In a country where all of its currency had the photos of individuals, this meant that a significant change was coming in Kenya's banknotes and coins. The first phase of the change was done in December 2018 when the Central Bank of Kenya announced new generation coins. Unlike the old coins, which featured portraits of former presidents, this new legal tender featured Kenya's rich wildlife heritage. The second reason was to crack the whip on embezzlement of public funds and stem the issue of counterfeiting of currency in Kenya and in neighboring countries. In the announcement, the central bank governor noted with concern that the 1,000 shilling note is used for illicit financial flows in Kenya and other countries in the region. It is also believed that corrupt politicians and business people in the country are holding millions, if not billions, of illegal cash in their houses, in safe deposit boxes, and other locations. Most of this cash is held in 1,000 shilling notes, which is currently the highest value banknote in Kenya. When the announcement was made, the central bank mentioned that the transition to the new currency notes had already started and awareness campaigns to educate the public began immediately after the announcement. The announcement also gave a key date, October the 1st, 2019, when all 1,000 shilling notes would become obsolete. This gave roughly a 4-month window for those holding large amounts of cash in this denomination to exchange them in two ways depending on the amount that they have. Those holding less than 5 million can exchange the 1,000 shilling notes at their local bank provided that they have an account there and they declare the source of the funds. However, those holding upwards of 5 million would need to exchange the cash directly at the central bank. As with anything in the world, there emerged positive and negative comments around the announcement. On the positive side, the new notes are welcome for portraying Kenya's heritage, including the Kenyatta International Conference Center, a well-recognizable landmark in the country, Kenya's wildlife represented by the mighty lion, and Kenya's productive agricultural sector, which contributes more than 25% of the country's GDP, and much more. The notes also bear features for the visually impaired to differentiate the values by running their fingers over the notes. The 50 shilling note has 1 bar, the 100 shilling note has 2 bars, the 200 has 3 bars. It is 4 bars for the 500 shilling note and 5 bars for the 1,000 shillings note. To prevent from counterfeiting, the new currencies have increased security features when held up to the light. The notes reveal a watermark of a perfect lion's head, the text CBK, and the note's value. This is among other security features such as the raised text on the note's value and the text Kenya. On a more critical note, as I earlier mentioned, the 2010 constitutional amendment stated that the currency should not have any portrait of an individual. Many Kenyans took to social media to protest the inclusion of the face of the founding father, who was also the father to the current president, Uhuru Kenyatta. Other critics noted that there was no participation from the general public on the design of the notes as well as the decision to demonetize their 1,000 shilling notes. This has been the basis of a petition filed at the High Court challenging the decisions by the central bank. Other critics mentioned that the absence of symbols that Kenya is known for, such as athletics and football. Kenya is known to have many marathon kings and queens, including Eliud Kipchoge and Brigid Kosgei, who recently delivered victory for the country in the 2019 edition of the London Marathon. In November 2016, the government of India announced that effective midnight of the day the announcement was made, it had demonetized 500 and 1,000 rupee notes and was issuing new 500 and 2,000 rupee notes. The aim was to reduce the circulation of illicit and counterfeit cash in the economy. The announcement also had a secondary aim, which was to spur the growth of a cashless economy, which India had always struggled to get going. The efforts by the Indian government were recently termed as a failure because 99% of the demonetized notes were deposited into the banking system, and India is still struggling to get their cashless systems going. The central bank governor is optimistic that the move by the Kenyan government will be successful, unlike the Indian example, thanks to two things. The first is proper planning and effective communication. These two pillars were thought to have led to the failure in India's plan. Would like to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think the plan by the Kenyan government will work? Do you think the demonetization of their 1,000 shilling notes will achieve the benefit of tackling corruption? Let us also know your thoughts on what you feel was missed out. I have recently had some football fans saying that football should have also featured, given Divock Origi's recent goal at Liverpool's Champions League win. So let us know what you think and remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.